What's happening, everybody? It's Anarka back at you with finally some more music reviews. Today I want to talk about an artist who I've actually become pretty good friends with. His name is Zany Zany Waterstoat. He's from Russia, and I figured I'd start the new year off with talking about some of his music. Zany Zany Waterstoat. So upon listening to his stuff, which I can tell by the album artwork on half of his records, that I was in for something good, because some artists you can just tell by the illustration on the cover that it's not something that's going to be like. I can tell he was experimental before even listening to him. One, his name is Zany Zany Waterstoat. That's obviously a very unique name, and just the illustrations on. He's got like 10 albums out on Bandcamp at the time of recording this, which is 10:06 a.m. January 25th, 2023. He's got over 10 albums out, and they all got uniquely designed album covers and whatnot. Go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. But I wanted to start this review by talking about his very first ever EP, released on January 2nd, 2019. It's just called Dumb, Volume 1. And it's a good album. It's not dumb at all. It's a good album. It's just got 5 tracks on it, and they're a couple minutes apiece, 2 to 3 minutes apiece. This album EP could be described as very lo-fi, transy with ambience, a lot of synthesizers in the mix with some turntables and scratching techniques going in and out. Some vocals here and there, like the first song, Damn. It's just what's called Damn with the lowercase. It's a 3-minute song. It's got this whole album, like I said, EP, has an ambient vibe flowing through it with a lo-fi sort of hip-hop sound, lo-fi sort of just. When I'm listening to this EP, I'm kind of imagining myself just laying back in my room with the lights off, or just relaxing after on a lazy Saturday or after a long day's work, just cracking open a beer and just relaxing in the background. It's just a really soothing, relaxing vibe, and he has some very dreamy vocals on the song "Damn." Some I can't reciprocate, not reciprocate. I couldn't replicate them if I was paid to, but on this first track here, Zany's got some really dream-esque, dreamy-eyed vocals that progress through the song, and it really adds a good touch to it. The second track is called Dumb at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Like I said, lo-fi. It's got some more. This song's got more of the hip-hop vibes, less of the ambience, but it's got some good synthesizers, and as I was listening to it, it kind of gave me the feeling of, like when you're in a big city, like right now I'm in Metro Manila. This type of track, I could imagine I'm on the LRT, like shooting through Manila, and I got my headphones in, I'm tuning everyone out on the bus, and I'm just watching the clouds and the skyscrapers as the train just zooms across the city. That's the kind of vibe it gives me. Or, like, let's just say I'm on the city bus, and I'm just enjoying the view of the town. That's kind of the vibe that Dumb gives me. I mean, it kind of plows into the word, like, you're not really thinking about anything. You're dumbfounded. You're amazed by you're in the moment. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the vibe it gives me. Number 3 on this is called Crawling Owl. It's 2 minutes. Like I said, lo-fi beats, synthesizers. This one actually kind of reminded me of a place back in my hometown of Lawrence, Kansas. So on downtown Mass Street, which technically this place isn't on Mass, but it's right off of Mass. If you've ever been to Lawrence, you should definitely go to the Java Break. It's a coffee house that's usually open 24 hours a day, and inside the coffee house, there's a room in the back that's called the Free Speech Zone, and then a lot of the artists in the area go back there and scribble and graffiti all over the walls and shit, and it's a really cool place. You can watch some old school cartoons and whatnot. Well, this song, just from its lo-fi vibes, its synthesizers, and just the way that it sounds, kind of took me back to that. Actually, made me feel good. It made me feel a little homesick for Lawrence, because this whole EP makes me homesick for Lawrence, because I'm from a small town in Kansas. I was born in Ottawa, which is a redneck hillbilly town, and then Lawrence is more avant-garde. It's more the music that Zany makes. Oh, he'd be loved in Lawrence. He would be loved in Lawrence. I mean, this kind of just has that, experimental. I just love the vibes of it. Crawling Owl, and I like the name Crawling Owl. And owls are one of my favorite animals. I actually I've always loved owls growing up. They're so mysterious. They sit on buildings and trees and they just stare at you. They just stare like that, big owl eyes, you know. So yeah, Carly House, it's definitely got a good vibe to it. And the next track on this is called Drunk Chinese, a minute 30. This one's a little bit of a shorter one. Just, a little lo-fi and transient sort of vibe to it. It's definitely kind of, I'm not intoxicated at the moment, but definitely has a drunken sort of feel to it. Like, I could imagine listening to this while drunk and if you're super just stumbling around and, everything's like the walls are spinning, everything's on like warp mode, and that's kind of where this track's going for me. And I like the name Drunk Chinese. Number 5 is Blue TV at 3 minutes. Now this one's kind of cool. I like the opening to it. It opens with some TV chatter and some kind of radio scramble, which the whole radio scramble vibe kind of carries throughout the rest of the track until the end of it, and it's nice. It's nice and atmospheric, and I really like the TV chatter at the beginning of it. I like it when artists do that, when they use little. I do that myself. I love taking sound bites from TV, radio, and media that I've listened to or that I come across. I love uh, twisting and turning that around and putting it into my own stuff just to see what you can do with it. And, Zany did a good job of putting all this together. All 5 tracks are well orchestrated. They're well put together. They're well structured and nice. And although they do have this very raw sound to them, it's polished and it sounds really good. Like, it's not distorted to the point. It's not like mine. It's not like distorted to the point your ears are gonna bleed. It's not loud. It's not loud at all. This is all 5 tracks are a very soothing and calming experience with some fusion of ambience, some lo-fi hip-hop vibes with some scratching of the turntables here and there, some synthesizers working their way through the mess. It's just got that sort of feel to it. A feel-good, relaxing EP to just sit back, maybe crack open a beer, or if you're in a legal country, hit a toke and just have a good time to. That's just, like I said, the album's name is Dumb. Dumb Volume 1, released on January 2nd, 2019, and it's currently January 25th, 2023, so belated happy birthday to Dumb. And yeah, it's just kind of got a dumbfounded sort of nature to it. It's just something that, if you're stressed out, if you're just tired and you just want to sit back and just not think about anything, you just want to relax, just put it on and just float to the clouds with it. And I like it for that.